All right, Kenman here. It's deep dive time. A closer look, if you will, to a knife that I have owned for a certain amount of time and have been able to formulate an opinion that I can now share with you. Before we start, I'm not sponsored by anyone, and I purchase everything at retail price. I do these videos because I love discussing knives and sharing info and ideas with others. If you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to comment where? Below. Okay, don't get sidetracked, Kenman. Don't get out any other knives. This is the one we're talking about. This is where you are. Focus. Sencut Acumen. Here it is. I love this knife. It's cool. It works really good. It's just something about it. You know, every single knife you get, it's kind of gives you a feeling or it doesn't give you a feeling. I really like this one. This is great. Sencut makes some cool stuff. Let's break it down quick. We have the solid Sencut Acumen. It has a 9CR18 MOV, so it's a very basic budget knife. G10 handle. The pocket clip is swappable, which is fantastic. This one's got all the black with the black blade, but this has been customized by Kenman himself. I have done dual customization on this knife. It was a jade handle, and I turned it to this kind of, I don't know, I want to say it's almost like a salmon kind of color. You can kind of still see through the black a little bit in there. I dig it. It was a lighter, kind of an attempt at just a different shade that I had not seen. Like I said, I'm kind of calling it salmon, but whatever you desire. Liner lock knife works super cool. I also did the laser mark on this blade. So this is actually a removal. The blade is a black coated blade. And so then they do like the removal to leave their little Sencut logo. And so I tried to copy the tone and the shade of that mark that they did and then come up with this cool bacon kind of pattern with the stripes and the super detailed little small stripes in between, right? I think this turned out awesome. I also kind of masked it off. So I took it apart so you can kind of see up inside here. I made sure that they stop right at that line. So I kind of masked off the area so that it would look cool. And then I actually masked off this area here because it would have been like that. But I made it stop there so that, so that the Sencut logo still fits in there. Not bad. I think it turned out really cool. So it's got that fuller hole for the reverse flick action, which works really good. You can also put your thumb in there and get it to work like that. And flipper tab. So as you can see, the action on this knife is fantastic. It's fun. Flips open really easy. Drops shut really well. I've noticed every knife that I do a dive for, when I put it back together, it tends to improve the quality of it a little bit. You make sure you get it together nice. Got the blade nice and centered where it needs to be. It is solid, no movement, no play. Sits in there really good. The flipper tab, let's see if we can fail it. I'm going to push as absolutely light pressure as I can, and it still comes all the way out. The detent on here is nice. Boom. It's close, and then it just pulls it in hard, but it's just enough that if you get that going, even with that weak thumb flick right there, it fires out good. I've had some where if it's got a weak detent, you basically can get it to kind of, I can't do it, that's why I'm kind of holding and pulling, but you can kind of get it to go like this because it's just not even holding enough, and you can kind of get it to sit here versus this when you barely get enough. Well, there I missed. I was trying to do it lightly. It still flips all the way out. Action is fantastic on this Sencut. As for a budget knife, plus look at just a little whip, drops it shut. Sencut Acumen is cool. It's a shorter handle, so it's kind of more of a 3-finger handle. It's like a 3.5 for me. I can kind of squeeze in there, and it's kind of pinches my fingers together because of the way this curve is. But I can also kind of loosen up and let my pinky kind of fall off just a little bit. It feels comfortable. I think it's because it gets narrower, and the way that works, it feels all right. You don't really have a choke up point, but I can get my index finger. I got a longer hand, but I can get that on there with that point, that just nice drop point shape. You get in there and make a nice cut. What's everyone think about this? It's a good one. Well, this, just like several others that I've done with the deep dive, one of the reasons I jumped on it is because it has been sold. One of my viewers, subscribers, has purchased it, and so I'm going to be shipping it out pretty soon to them. And just wanted to get a last look at it. I think I'm going to order another one. It's a nice blade. That removal that I got on there is good, so I could set up another and do something similar or a little different, but I've got that setting already dialed in for this particular knife. That's the thing. Every blade, every steel, every coating, everything that you laser mark, if you're not laser marking the exact same thing, it's going to be different. The composition of the blade or the material, or even sometimes you get two that are the same, but one of them, the black coating, might be a little bit heavier on that one than the other, and you might not know that, so it's not going to take the same. What's nice about these is you can't see, but inside here, I did some tests. I did a couple laser mark tests on the inside where it's hidden. And then that way you can kind of figure out what it is you need to use and do and dial in the power and the velocity of basically of the laser so that you can get a nice mark. That's the main concern literally with doing the laser marking, is just getting a good mark with the material that you've got. So now that I've already done this and I know that it's pretty good, I've already a step further. So why not get another one and I can improve on it or make it similar, or, oh, there's that. So if I get another one, should I do the same thing? God, that mark turned out cool. These guys are getting this. They're gonna have fun with this one. Yeah, that's going to be basically it for today. I really do like Sencut. Like I said in my deep dives, I'm only focusing on just one knife. I could show you several other Sencuts that are fantastic. But what I want to get at is basically Sencut is definitely in the budget category. They have a ton of knives in that $30 to like $70 range. But really every one of them that I've purchased and I own, they're fantastic. They have good action. They feel nice. A 9CR18, you know, maybe it's lower on the end, the spectrum of the quality of materials. You can always get a knife that's better. But if you're looking for just a nice user that you can beat on and feel comfortable with the quality of it and that it's going to work and at least open those boxes and cut that tape, the stuff that you do on a regular basis, Sencut's got some really cool stuff. Acumen. Check it out. That's going to be it for today. If you enjoy what you see, please hit that like button and subscribe if you'd like to see more. It helps me out and I really appreciate it. Stay sharp. We'll see you soon.